Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome back. Today we're going to do our 23-month update on the Sea Reefer 250. So I finally got my custom lid that I ordered from JT Acrylics, a local acrylic maker, a custom acrylic maker here in the Greater Toronto area, and it fits really well. So you see, it sits on top of the Sea Reefer. There is cutouts for my radions, for the overflow box. Yeah, so we have this portal here that I could remove, and it's actually, I had it when I kind of designed the proportions. I wasn't sure whether it's going to be functional or not, but it's actually perfect because I could fit my entire hand in there. If I want to feed fish, I could feed them from here. If I want to put my hand in the tank to put mastic on the glass, or if I want to put the scraper for the glass that fits through here, or my little veggie clip, the magnet fits through here. So it was actually pretty functional. And when not in use, I could just cover it up, voila. I have a cutout here for my feeding station. And I asked the company to make these little cutouts here and in the corner here. So there's actually a cutout here and a little cutout in the corner, and I have two on the other side. So I had them add these two holes just in case if I want to add some extra power heads in the back, then I'll be able to run the cords without having to modify the lid. And so, you know, I wasn't when I bought the Reefer, I really loved the open top look, and in many ways I was dead set against getting a lid because I didn't want it to distract from the aesthetics of the clean aesthetics of the tank. But I've been really pleasantly surprised ever since I put this top on. You know, it doesn't look bad. It's not like catching my eye. I'm not regretting the fact that I got the lid. It's actually in many ways it seems like it's always been there. So I'm happy that I got it. I mean, obviously having a lid is really great to prevent fish from jumping. The only reason that I didn't get one right away is I was just worried that it's going to mess up the look of the tank. But after putting it on, I'm happy with it. There's no concerns, no regrets. It fits. It looks like it's always been there. All right, so that's it on the lid. What else has changed? A few of you have noticed that when I've been taking my top down shots, that you don't see the diffusers. I do have them running all the time. I just take them off when I'm taking pictures or top-down video. So the Radion XR15 diffusers are still on. I'm really liking them. They do a great job of blending the light, and you know, I'm just getting very nice, pleasant shimmer on the sand bed without any of the harsh disco ball effect. Things are otherwise pretty good. We had some fluctuations in tank chemistry. So this always happens whenever I transition from the summer, from the winter to the summer. I stop running the heater, and the evaporation in the water, like the evaporation of the salt water, it slows down, so the RODI system is not going on as often. And because I dose calc from my in my top-off system, what ends up happening is that there's less top-off, so that means less calc. So my calcium and my alkalinity have actually dropped over the past week or so. So they went from about 8 DKH alkalinity to about 7. And I'm trying to manage it by increasing dosing 2 parts, but it hasn't. I'm gonna slowly try to bring it back up to 8, which is where I like to run my tank. The other thing that has changed is that my nitrates have gone from about 5 last month to almost 0 last week, and my phosphates have also dropped a little bit. So I think my Chaetomorpha algae is too efficient at removing the nitrates. I typically harvest about 3 to 4 ounces every week. So I've cut the photo period on the Chaetomorpha on my fuge. I've also started dosing potassium nitrate again to kind of slowly and gradually bring my nitrates up to about 5 parts per million, which is where I like them. So that's really the major change that has happened in the water chemistry, or the 2 major changes. One, alkalinity and calcium dropped a little bit, and nitrates dropped a lot, and I'm gonna slowly bring them up by dosing nitrates.
All right, let's have a look at the sump. I did manage to install all of my 3 float switches. I found these little spring-loaded connectors from Amazon, which I think are very helpful. You just they're spring-loaded, so you press the button to push the wire in to make the connection, and it's been great for organizing the breakout box and also for being able to remove the float switches for easy cleaning. So if you're not familiar with the Apex breakout box, you have here 6 channels, and every time you need to attach a switch, you have to put one of the wires in a specific channel, and the other has to go to the ground terminal. What ends up happening is you're going to have fit 6 wires in this ground terminal, which is difficult to manage. So what I've did is use the spring-loaded connections, and all the ground wires could just go to the spring-loaded connectors, and I don't need to unscrew things whenever I add a float switch, which is a lot easier to deal with. So last video I showed you how I added this float switch to my skimmer. I've beefed it up a little bit. I got this nylon bolt and I drilled it. I fed the wires to the switch through it, so now it's sitting more securely. And if the skimmer overflows, then the switch will turn the power off to the skimmer. I added 1 float switch. I have made this custom acrylic holder, and I have 1 float switch here. So my fuge is being fed from my return pump here, and there's 2 outlets, but if they jam, then the water will rise and rise and rise, and before essentially water would have overflowed into my sump. But now I have this fun little switch, and if it goes up, you'll see it now. It will turn off the power to the return. Voila, you just heard my return go down, and then goes up. Now my return is back online. So this is a nice kind of safety feature that I've built in with the float switch. And the third float switch I installed in my return section of the sump. So if there is any issue with my return pump, if it's failing, or if it's not handling the flow from the tank, then the water level in the return section will rise, and I will get a message from the Apex saying that the flow switch in the return section has been triggered and the water level is too high. Okay, let's do a top-down tour of the corals. We have the Reef Raft Mr. Pac-Man, the Acropora tenuis, and on the left, Aura Birds of Paradise. I've been fragging the Birds of Paradise quite often because it grows really fast. It's probably one of the fastest growing SPS in my tank. Here we have Nemo and Valentine photobombing the Christmas Montipora cap and the Pink Mystic on top here. Great colors, they're growing really well. I love the contrast between the green and the pink. And on the top shelf here on the right, you have the blueberry wine with those lovely blue tips. And here, a little bit out of focus, but the Aura Red Planet, it's still encrusting, no major growth upwards yet.
the Reef Raft Pink Cadillac, looking mean and growing really well. At the top here you see the Bonsai, the Cali Blue Tort, lovely blues on the Cali Tort, and then the Shockaholic / Habanero been, I don't know, losing a little bit of its green, will hopefully comes back, and then the Reef Raft Orange Passion, and on the top corner here is the Aussie Rainbow. Then you're seeing another colony of the Pink Mystic. Looking down, we have the Coldwater Acro, and then the Blue Voodoo here, the Green Slimer, and the long and very sexy and hot branches of the Electric Miyagi Tort, which just keeps on growing. Did I say that I love that coral? It's an awesome coral. Alright, thanks so much for checking in. I'm working on a couple of big videos for the 2-year anniversary of the tank next month, so stay tuned. Please like, comment, subscribe, and tell your friends to subscribe too. Thanks so much. Bye.